edges. So you have a curve here. Okay, and there is a point 2, -4, say somewhere here, and you have a tangent, a straight line here. So we are trying to find the equation of this. Okay, the equation of the straight line is y equals to mx plus c. So in order to solve this, in short, we need gradient and a point. Now we have a point. What's missing is the gradient. It's not there. So we are going to try to use this equation and find the gradient from that. And I've told you earlier, when you differentiate a function, you will get dy dx. dy dx is actually a gradient function. Okay, so we have y equals to 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. When I differentiate this, I am getting 4x plus 3. Now this is called a gradient function because it has a variable in it, right? It's not just one gradient. But using this, what it means is that we can find any gradient value for this curve if you know the x value. In this case, we know the x value at this particular point, which is 2. So using that, I can find the gradient at that particular point. So for 2 plus 3, I will get 11. So 11 is the gradient here. Now, we know our gradient is 11. We also got our gradient. And our point is 2, -4, which is the x value and the y value. The equation of a straight line is y equals to mx plus c. Substitute each and every one of this value into the equation. So y is going to be -4, m is 11, x is 2. Based on this, we will get our c value as -26. So finally, the equation is going to be y equals to 11x minus 26. Okay guys, now look at this question here. This is similar to what we did before. In the previous question, we found the gradient. They gave you the point and we found the gradient. In this case, they gave you the gradient already, it's -1. You have to find the point. So we will illustrate this again. I'll just roughly sketch it. You have a curve with y equals to 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. Then you also have a point M. Let's just put the point M here. And it has a gradient of -1. So what I'm going to do now is, first, in order for you to find the gradient is equivalent to dy over dx. So I'm going to differentiate this equation. Y is given as 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. Dy dx is going to be 4x plus 3. Now we don't know the x value, but what we know is that the gradient dy dx is -1. So 4x plus 3 equals to -1. From here we can find the gradient. X is -1. So now that we know our x, we already find the x coordinate of this point. We know it's -1 and something. We don't know the y. How to find that is, take the x value, substitute into the actual equation. So y equals to 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. So when I substitute x with -1, what do I get? Okay, so our coordinate is going to be -1, -6. Okay guys, so now let's look at the next question. In this question here, they gave you a point and there is a curve. So a point S21 lies on the curve y equals to 2x minus 3 to the power of 2. Find the equation of the normal line. So you have a quadratic equation here. So the curve is going to be something like this. And then there is a point 21. That's your S, this point here. Now, the tangent is what we did in the previous question. So this is the tangent. They don't want the equation of the tangent. What they want is the one that is normal to this tangent, which is this line here. So let's call the normal as M2 and the tangent as M1. Now we have studied before, how are these two gradients related? We know M1 times M2 should give you -1. We have studied this before. So now what am I going to do is, first I'm going to try to find the gradient of the tangent. We have done that earlier, correct? Just take the equation and differentiate it. So y equals to 2x minus 3 squared. I'm going to use composite rule here. So dy over dx is 2x minus 3. Differentiate this, you get 2. We know the x value here is 2. Substitute that. We get 4. 4 is the gradient of the tangent gradient, we call it, which is M1. But we are interested in M2. So the gradient of normal is going to be M1 is 4 is -1/4. We have the gradient, and if you realize this normal line passes through 2, 1, so we can use that point as well. So y is equals to mx plus c. We know our y is 1, m is -1/4, x is 2. When we solve this, we get our c as 3/2. Finally, the equation is going to be y is equals to -1/4x plus. Solved. Easy, guys.